what's up guys? We are south of the river in a neighborhood called Namhyeon-dong. Together with Henny Savanaye, a fellow Dutchman, who will show us the neighborhood today.
I will. It's no problem.
So we're in front of Sarang station and that's where we're going to begin.
And this used to be the only way out of Seoul. So over there's Namhyeon-dong, that's the south pass. And in the mountains over there and in the mountain over here, there lived thieves.
Oh no way.
They would rob people who came alone down here.
So it was a dangerous path.
In a way it was. As long as you were with enough people it was fine, but in the evening it was kind of tricky.
The name Namhyeon-dong means Southern Mountain Pass, and it was indeed the main pass over Mount Gwanak to reach Seoul from the south. Today the thieves are probably gone, but people still travel in groups over the mountain. Better safe than sorry.
Without further ado, let's take you through the more interesting parts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we have a little interesting building, because that's the former Belgian Embassy.
The former Belgian Embassy?
Yep.
On this side of the river?
Nope.
Oh, no, okay. We'll see. Oh, wow.
This is it.
That's a beautiful building.
It's a beautiful building.
It is.
It was inside of Seoul, but the Uri Bank bought it and broke it down and rebuilt it over here.
Oh, okay.
And turned it into an art gallery. But
I see.
It's a nice building both on the outside and on the inside.
It's time to have a quick look inside the Belgian Embassy. It's an impressive building. It's big. I believe it was bigger than the Dutch Embassy is today and ever was in Korea.
I must admit, the Belgians had taste. It's quite a building and now open to anyone who is interested in art or architecture. The stairs are authentic and over 100 years old. And even from outside, the building is quite pleasant to the eyes.
This looks like an ordinary mountain.
The one here in front of us?
Yep, but it has heritage. There used to be kilns to make pottery.
Oh, you mean like those pottery ovens?
Yeah, right. And some of the excavation is going on.
Historic site number 247.
As you can read, it's presumed that a number of kilns were concentrated at this site.
To clarify, this was during the unified Silla era,
Yeah.
presumably.
What always was just a little mountain is now an important historical site. I can totally imagine they produced some museum-worthy pottery here. And it's no coincidence that this spot was chosen, as the ground has an abundance of red clay.
Now, covered in snow, you can walk over it, walk around it. I think the excavations are done. Last time I was here with Henny, they were still digging up some things. And the people seem to have disappeared.
So there used to be a market over here, but progress demanded that cars were more important than old markets. And now you can see it's a parking lot. On the other side of the street you can still see a lot of shops and eateries.
Old shops, I must say.
Yeah, old shops. This is basically the entrance to the new part. I mean, you have to realize there are no buses here. There is no Mahou bus or any way to go up there, so people have to go by their own car or walk, which a lot of people do. And this is the only entranceway.
There's no other way.
There's no other way.
By the way, I forgot to tell you guys, I mentioned earlier that Henny is a fellow Dutchman, but he's actually a naturalized Korean, and he gave up on his Dutch passport, so
Yeah, right.
completely Korean.
I'm completely Korean.
어머, 오래간만이십니다.
안녕하세요, 안녕하십니까?
아니, 얘기하고 싶어요. 이분은 다큐멘터리 만들고 있어요. 당신이 여기에 오래간 살으니까 질문 있어요?
네, 여기 오래 사셨어요?
네,
언제부터요?
80년대 중반부터 살았어요.
어떻게 이 동네 어떻게 바뀌었어요?
뭐 옛날에 여기는 저기 뭐지 연립 같은 거 있었는데 지금 아파트로 다 바뀌고.
네.
나 그래요.
그럼 무슨 분위기 있었어요 그때는? 지금보다?
그때가 더 좋았죠.
아 그래요? 뭐가
그때는
더?
사람들하고 다 어울려가고
네.
시골처럼 지금도 시골처럼
네,
좋은데
맞아요.
그때가 더 좋았어. 아이들 어렸을 때.
네. 그럼 요즘 어때요?
요즘은 그냥 그래요. 지금도 이 동네처럼 저기 한 데 없어요.
The countryside. It was not my first impression. I'm still not quite there yet in discovering Namhyeon, so let's continue. At the foot of Gwanak Mountain, we stumbled upon a small temple called Wongaksa. But it's not the temple, but the park and entranceway to the mountain that got my interest, right behind the temple. I haven't ever come across so much randomness in one space. Let me show you what I mean.
I see a lot of, I'm not sure if it's trash, just a lot of stuff
No, actually,
stocked here.
one of the inhabitants here
Yeah.
built a kind of garden here. And this is, public.
Not private, public garden.
Yeah, 안녕하세요.
Well, he takes his garden pretty serious.
Yeah, he went all the way here.
He has like little plots of land.
Yeah, previously I was talking about tombs.
Yeah.
No, that's one over there, and that's one over there.
Ah, yeah, I see it now. So,
Nobody ever takes care of it.
unidentified tombs here.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, right.
What is that?
Somebody made a piece of art.
You could say so. So another unidentified tomb.
Yeah.
Ah, look at this.
Yeah.
I really think as a city explorer, you tend to neglect the south. I mean, there's Gangnam, Socho, the touristy spots. But if you go to the other neighborhoods that are not so known, they will surprise you. So somebody made this. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but if I look at it, what I see is a dragon. So here's one of the trails that goes up the mountain, Gwanak, and it's supposedly quite beautiful. Can you go inside? Oh, this is not a bunker. 혹시 이거 뭐예요?
약수터예요?
아, 벙커 아니에요?
아니, 물 약수터.
아, 그래요? 여기 사세요?
네.
어때요, 이 동네는?
아, 좋죠.
뭐가 좋아요?
여기 뭐 산도 있고,
네.
운동해서 좋고, 공기도 좋고. 뭐 옛날에는 이제 이 마을이 다 단독주택,
네.
단독주택이 이렇게 하나씩 있었는데, 이게 이제 뭐 빌라로 막 올라가고 아파트도 짓고.
거의 없어졌어요, 단독주택.
네.
네.
개인주택이 없잖아요. 다 아파트, 빌라, 뭐 아파트 같은.
네,
그거
네.
많이 찍으세요.
네, 춥지 마세요.
Then there are also the gorgeous tombs of Yi Yongjik, a civil servant of the Joseon period and his first and second wife. During the Manchu invasion in 1627, he escorted King Injo to refuge on Gangwado Island. But there's more. A small settlement I wasn't expecting besides the high rise of Namhyeon. And it indeed starts to feel more and more like countryside.
What I like about this park is that there are a lot of, I think, self-claimed farmland. Could be wrong, but it seems like it because overall this park is managed by the government. But here and there you see little plots of farmland. Ah yeah, check this out. So in the middle of Namhyeon-dong, on the edge of the park and all the new built buildings here, there are a lot of, looks like makeshift homes. Maybe shows how it used to look like. And I think those people, they manage these little farm plots here. Here, look at that, it's a little church. Now I was expecting a lot of things in Namhyeon-dong, but not this makeshift kind of Daldongne like little town in the park at the edge of where all the development has happened, and the park here on my left, and a lot more houses than I expected though. And if you have an apartment here, then you wake up, you look through the window, and this is the contrast that you see. This little forest, this little park has the most random number of things I've ever seen in Korea. What the hell is this?
Seriously though, the unidentified tombs, historical tomb, private tomb, self-proclaimed forest gardener, folk traditions, remarkable settlement, and let's not forget the old temple of Gwanak. But to reach the entrance, we take the car up and barely make it because of the slippery snow.
So we're taking a car because it's quite up the hill. Nee. Dat gaat er niet worden. Okay, we made it to the top of a temple called Gwanak Temple. With help from the locals, we managed to go up.
This temple was supposedly founded by Doson Guksa in 895, but nothing from then remains here, and whatever remained was wiped out in the Korean War. So much of now is new, and a lot smaller. In later times, it wasn't as important as Doson's other three temples, Dosonsa, Bongwonsa, and Buddhamsa. So I heard.
여기 많이 와요?
예, 가까우니까 자주 올라와요.
아, 그래요?
예. 근데 여기가 이제 산신각도 있고 약사열애불 부처님 계시고 용왕대신님 계시고
네.
우리 샤머니즘
네.
그게 계시고 이제 저쪽 정각은 지장보살님
아.
돌아가신 분들 조상님들을 위해서
네.
하는 불공하는 곳이고
어.
여기 이제 현생에 뭐 자기 소원 비는 곳. 그렇게 하면 될 것 같아요.
아름답지.
네.
안녕하세요. 많이 미끄러워요?
예, 괜찮습니다.
아, 괜찮아요?
예,
In my neighborhood where I live, that used to be the Gold Coast of Namhyeon-dong, meaning the old rich people lived there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, one after the other they died, and their children initially replaced it with villas, and then they discovered that with one-room villas they could make a lot more money. You have to imagine that every building now, there used to be one house.
Uh-huh.
These houses were huge. Still one over there.
So here we have it, one of the old juteks. Well, it gives you an idea of how the neighborhood looked like here on the hill.
So it was full of houses like this.
Yeah, they make place for something like this, huh?
Yeah, right.
Can earn more money. I would like to live in a house like this.
So do I.
It's beautiful.
Walking around, you will notice the last remaining detached houses. Beautiful, but unfortunately a dying image of the neighborhood. Something else I noticed was the sign at Sadang Station. Namhyeon-dong was apparently named Artist Village in the 70s. Because, and you can guess why, many artists lived here. I didn't notice nor know whether some of them still live here today.
오, 안녕하세요. 여기 오래됐나요?
네, 오래됐어요.
그러니까 언제부터요?
30년?
30년.
이렇게?
근데 남현동은 여기 예수인 마을
여기?
인 줄 아는데
네.
근데 예수 많이 없어 보여요.
예술인?
네,
아, 여기 방송인 안무연도 살고,
네.
또, 안에는 많이 살았어. 코미디언 이옥주도 살고, 또, 가수 누구더라 걔가? 그 사람도 살고,
네.
이사들 잤어.
근데 요즘 많이 없어요.
잤어?
예술.
예술인?
네.
없어요.
없어요.
I do know where one of the artists lived though. In fact, he was a Korean poet, Seo Jong-ju, and his house can now be seen. It's one of those detached houses.
A well-known poet in Korea. But as always, there must be some kind of controversy. I believe he has a record of being pro-Japanese. Yet the house is still here. It's an example of how Namhyeon-dong used to look like, right? With all the juteks all over the place, as Henny said and the woman said. So this is one of the remaining houses. Let's have a look inside. This is the man with his wife. Some old poems, I guess. Here, another photo. It's quite dark inside. Let's see. It's also cold inside. The door is open. Wow, look at the bathroom of this place. Wow. Huh, check this out. That's probably the coolest bathtub I've ever seen in Korea. Still small though, but it's cool. So here's old office. See there, an original photo with him writing at a table, and that looks like that table with that chair. Still cool, regardless of the history. I think it is still history. So no matter what the history is, it is part of Korea's story. And he did write really nice poems, from what I read on the internet.
Namhyeon is an overall quiet neighborhood where people seem to know each other well. Living at the foot of any mountain is always a big plus, in my opinion. I was particularly and positively surprised by all the randomness at the foot of Gwanak Mountain. But Namhyeon's title as Artist Village less convinced me. So on the map I will write randomness on the southern mountain pass. Just be careful for the thieves. Thank you for watching. Houdoe!